I had started coaching, and I basically interviewed a life coach, a friend of mine, two life coaches, and they said, if you're a great speaker, then this is a good way to build your coaching practice. And so I went to Toastmasters. I signed up to do my first talk. Toastmasters is a public speaking organization. They teach you the art of speaking, how to master the craft. And I went home and I wrote out my first talk. I was all excited. It's called Who Am I? I wrote up this talk. I'm walking around in my apartment and doing different inflections and stuff I'd seen on TV. I'm like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I was videotaping myself, pacing around. And I just got to this point where I was feeling like super anxious, and I wasn't even on stage yet. And I literally thought to myself, I'm like, if I'm this anxious and I'm not even on stage yet, maybe this speaking thing isn't for me. And so I almost quit before I even started, but I'm like, I'm going to go do this talk. And then something inside me, I don't even know where it came from, probably an accumulation of experiences and just intuitive knowledge. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to go try to do a good talk. I'm going to go up there, speak from my heart, be myself, get it over with, and move on with my life. And so I did that. I didn't take my notes up there. I got up on stage, said, who am I? I started my talk. And then when it was over, which felt very timeless, I got a standing ovation. And I was very present, doing my best to like take the energy in and receive it. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I'm the guy who's walking around like a nervous wreck in my apartment who was like, fuck this, you're right? So and I'm like, but people are like, yeah. And I sat down in the back of the room and I was just like, it was very surreal to me. And I was getting all these amazing feedback slips of comments for people. This was amazing, made me cry, best icebreaker I've ever heard. The president of the club compared me to Martin Luther King. I was like, what in the hell is happening here? But I did my best to take it in. And then at the end of that meeting, people were coming up to me and telling me about their experience. And it wasn't what they were saying, but I could really feel they were trying to put words to something. And they were like, wow, that was amazing. Anyway, I went home. And over the next few days, I really was just listening and asking the question, like, what happened? How did this happen? What happened? Why were people looking at me like I was a genius? And I was like, fuck it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, two kind of revelations came to me. The first one was, at the end of the day, everyone just wants to be themselves and feel good about it. And because I was willing to be myself, meaning share my heart, being the truth of the moment, it wasn't my words, I was my heart. Because I was in my heart was speaking to their heart. Because I was connected to spirit and connected to the truth of the moment, I was able to speak to and ignite something in their spirit. Then I was like, if that's speaking, I can do that because I am that. Clearly something in that is already in me. And so I then said, I'm a speaker. And I never went back to Toastmasters. I've been speaking for over probably 15 years now.